Hello and welcome back to Ginger Man. I've had about a month off and summer is over. It is about 5:30, 6 in the morning currently, and I am freezing my ginger balls off. But do not worry, because we are here in a beautiful place called Roslin. There's a chapel, there's a glen, so Roslin, show me what you got. Peace.
I'll turn on the camera, test my microphone, I'm firing up the podcast, sound waves coming to your home. Ginger Man with a can is here to make your day. Ginger Man with a can would like to hear you say today.
It's been a while, but I'm back out, and I can say it is about 3 degrees, 4 degrees, very cold, but there's going to be a beautiful sunrise. It's starting to get lighter. Oh, here we go, it's going to be a beautiful day. So I've come into the local premier.
Prices start from $2.99, $3.99 towards
All the way up, yeah.
$15.99,
Wow.
$35.99.
Amazing. Look at all the Pokemon cards you can get in here. You can't get them in Asda's or Tesco's or anywhere. I don't collect them, like, but my pal does. I went into the shop and got my supplies. I got water, pepperami and a ripple, because that's a Ginger Man style breakfast. Anyway, Pokemon cards. So I was in there and I seen all of them, and I've noticed one of my mates is trading them or buying them to trade because they're apparently really valuable. Anyway, Pokemon cards, and they had loads, so I was looking at them and I says, how much for a single pack? And she was like $7.99. I was like, what? I'm not buying one of them. So there you go, you can sell a pack of Pokemon cards for £8. Get up your attic now. Bus timetable, all heading into Edinburgh, the Edinburgh area, because we are in Roslin, on the outskirts of Edinburgh. Some might say we're even in Edinburgh, but nah, we're in Roslin, and there's a chapel and a glen and a sunrise. This is beautiful walking down here, because I think normally this is going to be hoaching with tourists, because this chapel is in the Da Vinci Code starring Tom Hanks. I had to think for a second, who's the actor? It's Tom Hanks. You've seen him in Big, and I can't think of any. Oh, Saving Private Ryan. If I keep thinking about it long enough, I'll think of loads of Tom Hanks films. See how many you can write in the comments. But anyway, Da Vinci Code, filmed in the chapel, and that's about as much as I know. So I need to do some reading on that. I've got a lot of reading to do, because I don't know anything about this area other than that one fact. Here we go. Look at this. This is the chapel. I can't get into it. I'm not going to hop the wall. I'm not a madman. Look, this is the entrance, and then there's Rosslyn Chapel. The best churches and chapels to visit are the ones without the big touristy bits around it. It's brilliant for tourists to have this infrastructure, but when you go to one that is just seems untouched, quiet, and beautiful locations like St Monans or something that aren't as famous, but holy moly. Anyway, I'm going to watch the sunrise here before heading into the glen. I'm going to watch the sunrise next to the chapel. This is the spot. I swear, look, right here. Right in front of the chapel. This is where you watch the sunrise. Right here. I'm happy with this. I mean, there it's there. That's Roslin Chapel. There's deer running about the field. Sunrise. Chapel behind me. Deers around me. Look how magical this looks. Let's just take a second. I'm looking for a bench. There's a wee slab thing. We have to deal with a slab. Look at this. This is part of Roslin Chapel here. Look at this. It looks almost unreal. Roslin Chapel. Circumference of the boundary here. I'm like a security guard this morning. There we go. Roslin Chapel. It's very fancy looking. Look at the gate. It's even got crosses all along the tops of the gates. This is cool. Morning. Look at this. A real magical spot here. Everything looks so beautiful this morning. The red in the tree. I bet Tom Hanks came and stood right at this spot with his morning coffee when he was filming here and was thinking, it's a bra chapel that. Look at this spot. Oh, this is amazing. Look, we've got the Pentlands. The only disappointing thing is it's facing west, so I wouldn't have got the sun spot, but look at this. This is the Glen. It was a nice wee bra walk round Roslin Chapel there. Right. I don't know where I'm going. They've done well fencing the whole perimeter off. I can confirm it's safe. There's a couple of spots like here. Look a bit shady, but all in all, pretty safe perimeter around the chapel. And I'm back out of the front. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that, I'm back out front. The old Roslin Inn. 1660 to 1866, it's a while. Here, countless travellers tarried a while. Among the distinguished visitors were King Edward VII, when Prince of Wales. Then we're on to a new person. Dr. Samuel Johnson and James Boswell. Robert Burns, there's a big name drop. And Alexander Naismith, Sir Walter Scott, and William and Dorothy Wordsworth. They all visited here. And then maybe in 50 years' time there'll be like Tom Hanks, the Da Vinci Code. They came here, Rabbie Burns. And at the top there, in front of the door, you can see the inscription 1660. Cool building, isn't it? Right, that's the Glen. I'm going to wait till it warms up before I go Glen wandering. And I am going back into the town. I'm going back into the town to learn about Roslin first. And I need to read about this chapel and find out, other than the Da Vinci Code, what is it famous for? Who came here? When was it built? All of that. And there it is, the OG, the original Roslin Inn. Right, I'm just going to work my way around the streets for an hour before heading into the Glen, see where it all takes me. It is such a bra morning. These big bra houses, with the sun striking them. Right, it says there's a community hall this way. It's a good place to start when we're learning. Community hall. I'm going that way. I feel like this is where the most of the people live in this area. Pentland View Terrace, because you can get a broad view of the Pentlands. I won't be surprised if there's an Oakle view here somewhere. Even though you can't see the Oakles, it doesn't matter. They're always somewhere. You might even be able to just smell the Oakles and there's an Oakle view. Oh, there's the Pentlands right there. That's why it's Pentland View. If you move all the houses out the way, you can see them. It's less of a community centre, more of a school and nursery, but we've got Roslin Rusty Walk right next to it that I've stumbled into. I'm not grumbling at a rusty walk. There we go, the original Roslin Inn. We're heading back that way. Oh, there's a bowling club here. I'll catch that as well. I think that's next to where I parked my car. There's Braw Park, Flying Fox. Seven out of 10. That was like a nice standard speed, but you got the full run all the way up to the top, so you could kick your feet off it. So that was fun. Anyway, this is the Roslin Rusty, and I like it. Got this nice path and everything through it. So, Roslin is a village in Midlothian. It's 11 kilometres, 7 miles south of Edinburgh. It stands on high ground near the northwest bank of the river North Esk. Right, it's pretty high up, that's why I was freezing this morning. Right, okay, population 1,770 people. So, it's small, it's a village, but it's got a really massive popular chapel in it. Roslin is believed to be the source of the name for the village of Roslin on Long Island in the US state of New York. There we go. The local gardeners, it's the guerrilla gardeners, and they've got a QR code. So they're adopted. They've adopted this space. I wonder how many other spaces they've adopted and taken and reclaiming. I like it. The guerrillas. Right, so I've got to keep my eye out for the guerrillas. Small population, so chances of seeing a gorilla are slim, but I'll keep my eyes open. But I'll also keep my eyes open for the good work they're doing in this beautiful, charming little place. It is really nice. I've got to go find the castle as well, and there's a boatload of history to read, so I don't want to bore you too much with that. We'll get an overview as I walk around. Well, I'm back out on the main high street, and it is busy. Look, this is what your phone box could be in Dalmeny by November. A life-saving defib. I'm not going to lie, it's more useful than a telephone box in 2025, but hey, we could have both. This is Braw though. This is real nice. This has got the gorilla's fingerprints all over it. There we go, Roslin, Bilston. There they are there. Once you see them, you can't stop seeing them. The gorillas are about. And they've done a broad job on this little space here. So I'm excited to see what's to come from them. That silverbirch right in the middle. Shout out to the Pokemon Premier Roslin Convenience Store. It's such a nice, beautiful high street along here. There's not much going on, to be fair, in terms of shops, but everything else is full of character. There's a wee library, a couple of wee shops, there's a British Legion, beautiful view of the Pentlands. Aye, it's everything you need. And then you've got the original inn there, and you've got the Chapel Cross guest house there. So a couple of places to eat, scran yourself, so you can be ready for a walk to the chapel and through the Glen, which is where I'm heading, the Glen. There's a wee war memorial with a sign over here. It's probably worth reading. That's probably where I'm going to get some good information, some good raw information. So look at this. Just noticed this as well. There is a trail map the Crusader Trail, the Templar Trail, the Apprentice Trail. I'd say I'm more of a Crusader myself. Stay aware, watch for livestock, ticks and wildlife. I will do, dress appropriately. Kinda, carry essentials, got water, got my camera. Aye, I'm good to go. Nice war memorial here. Sign. On 13th of June 1456, James II made Roslin a borough of barony in favour of William St Clair, Earl of Orkney and Caithness. Quotation marks. With cross and market, and ye market day ye're off to be ilk Saturday, and the fair ye're off to be upon Simondus Day and Jude, yearly always in time coming. Exactly. Roslin at one time was reckoned to be next to Edinburgh and Haddington in population and importance. There you go. I mean, Edinburgh's got 500,000 people in it now and Roslin's got 1,770, but it does have the Da Vinci Code. Although maybe they found some of the Da Vinci Code in Edinburgh too. Who knows? I thought this was all Edinburgh, but I guess it's everywhere has its own character and story, and you got to dissect and separate. Roslin Castle is the ancestral home of the Earls of Roslin, the St Clair family. They came from France, possibly with William the Conqueror. Like many Norman families, they migrated to the north upon the offer of land from Malcolm Canmore. So there we go. In the oldest part of the castle, the Lantern Tower was built in 1304. So that's the castle, and here's the chapel. Built in the 15th century by William St Clair as a gesture of his thankfulness to God. The present building is only 1/5 of the intended church. There is hardly any part of the surface which is not covered with the most ornate carving, including the Prentice Pillar. One theme is good versus evil, represented by the 7 virtues and the 7 deadly sins carved on opposite sides of the lintel. So it's all about good versus bad, which is the entirety of the Bible. So I guess that's why the importance of this chapel is here, because it is like a coming together. That's interesting. I'm going into the Glen and I'm going to go see what's behind the chapel, because in there you've got this rich history of a castle, a chapel. You know, in the Normans, that's the beginning. You know, that's the beginning of castles being built. That's why castles were built in Britain when the Normans came over from France. The chapel its beauty lies within its story, its history, the ornate carvings it's got. It's like insanely quiet. I could imagine on a busy weekend, on a hot sunny day in the summer, this place is level 10 Ho-Chin. Yeah, and then just reading more about the story behind the chapel is making me want to go actually inside now and see it. There we go, it's got me. Ha! You got me, Rosslyn Chapel. Look at that house in the middle of the Glen. Is it a couple of houses? 3 houses. It's a nice place to live. There we go. This looks nice. This looks like the start of a castle. Wow. Well, people knew how to live back in the day. That is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I wondered if this was some private residence, but it would appear it's an Airbnb. Just seen a couple leaving with their suitcase. That's cool. So you can come and stay in here. That's some night's sleep you'd have. Listen, if you're going to build a castle, this is the place to do it. Wow. This is incredible. I've got it to myself, other than the couple who have just had a night in the Airbnb. Good on them. But I'm not going to lie, they look grumpy though. Maybe it's too early for them. No, this is too early. And I'm like, morning, total happy ginger man, whimsical style. But look where I am, come on. This is amazing. Look at the somewhat detail that's left in the work. It's amazing that the castle's in this state and the chapel has been kept in magnificent condition. That's why you can just wander into the castle now. I guess nature has reclaimed it. That's what I'm seeing when I look around here. Nature is on the verge of reclaiming it all. Let's head on down into the glen, see what's to be seen, see what's lurking. Everything's so bright and beautiful up here, so it's going to be a bit darker and magical and mystical down here. Let's wander into the trees. This is cool. Stairs are steep, but not too bad. This is incredible down here. Like, I knew about the chapel, I didn't know about the castle in Glen, if I'm honest. I am impressed. Like, this whole place is incredible, and I feel like I've not even touched the surface. Wow. It does, it feels like a bigger than Dunfermline Glen. But the castle itself, you know, it's not as big as the Abbey, but there's a similar theme going on. It's amazing. The history here. I'm going to touch it. I'm going to touch the history. Oh! It's me touching history, guys. I swear, the minute I walked under that archway there, my internet just went dead. Right. Instant spooky vibes. Anyway, I shall march on. What is the way? Oh. Oh, there's the water down there, is it? Yeah, it is. There's the river. I found it. Look at this. There's a bigger part of the castle that's been left over. Aye, aye, aye. Aye, 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 aye. Look at that. That's cool. This part has a spooky feel because it's got the wee tiny windows where you imagine seeing a face looking out at you, and then you just absolutely pap your shants. But that, oh look, there's a light on up there. Is this an Airbnb too? Or is this part of the bit I was at? I think I was up there, so this is the front of that bit I was at, because there's a light on. This is the Airbnb windows. So you would see a face at the window if you come at the right time. I guess that's what you got to do to maintain the land. You've got to bring some revenue in so this stuff can be maintained. So if people like me can come and check it out. I'm going down this way, look at this. See if I can get down by the water. And flies it around. I can now hear the river flowing, and it's adding to all the beautiful sensations I've had this morning. So my advice is, if you're in the area, just get up at 4:30, get here for as soon as you can, and come wandering for the sunrise. Obviously sunrise is different times depending on what time of the year you're here. So you can just check your phone, easy, bash. Just think, we were in a busy morning village just there on the outskirts of Edinburgh, and now look where we are. In the middle of the glen, surrounded by trees and woodland critters and whistling songbird. Look at this, I found my spot by the water. We've got a rock we're sitting on. Oh, this is perfect. This is wonderful. I've got it all. Let's take the bag off and secure the perimeter and just enjoy the morning now. If anyone's seen Harry Potter, why is Lord Voldemort's face in the rock here? Right, I don't want to frighten anyone, but there is a theme of good versus evil with the chapel. Well, hey listen, Harry Potter's all about that. I think I've just found one of Lord Voldemort's horcruxes. There he is there, look! This is bloody Lord Voldemort. That's spooky, that's some spooky. I wonder if... It's a spooky looking tree, look, it's all rotten as well. I wonder if J.K. Rowling came down here and she got inspiration for Voldemort off that rock. She was just chilling down here writing and was like, what can he look like? Oh, look at that spooky rock. Oh yeah. I just want to thank my Patron legends who without I wouldn't be drinking this Highland Spring straight from the Oakles. No, I wouldn't. You guys are the best. And aye, I love yous all. If you want to be a Patron legend, you can click the link below. Aye, and you can join. You can hit the PayPal button and get me some water, coffee, petrol, whatever you want, and I'll shout your name out in the episode. I did have some 2 names to say out, but I didn't have internet connection here to check, so I didn't plan on that, so I've just picked up this twig instead. But I'll get your names in the next one. Anyway, thanks. Peace. That was a fun fly. There was a shot where I could see the castle, the chapel, Arthur's Seat, Edinburgh Castle. That was c'est magnifique. Right. Let's wander back through the glen, back through the village, and back to the Burntmobile. I have, just yesterday, sorted the van out. I've got an airbed in the back, so I can confirm that I've got some van camp episodes coming up very, very soon. Very exciting. Oh yeah boy, look at that tree. That is a tree. Look at that, that is old. Massive, right next to the castle. Wow, that's a hugging tree. Mighty tree. Like the Lord of the Rings trees. It's going to come alive. I say it's going to come alive, I mean, look at it, it's already alive. It's found its place for however many years, and its roots have become steps for people, and that's crazy. Root steps, you can't buy them. This is absolutely mesmerising in here, and let me tell you the beauty of it. 25 minutes from Rosyth to here. 25 minutes, I mean 25 minutes, if the bypass is mental, you could be up to an hour and a half, 2 hours. But If you go early enough, no traffic, here you are, you'll be mesmerised, like I have been this morning. Listen to the noises. And back to the archway of 4G. That's it, when you go through it you get your internet back. That's not me just making it up, that's the truth. The birds are singing me away. The Holy Grail can be found in Roslin Glen. That's where it can be found. Maybe it is in the chapel, but that opens at 9 or 10 and you got to pay to get in there, but you don't have to pay to get into the Glen. So aye, it's in here. There's a single person since I got into the Glen. There's some walking up those steps, but it's all of a sudden it's got warm again and the sun's out. I like the Glen, but on a beautiful day like today, feels like I should be out above ground. Hey, that's me just passing the chapel, and there's people arriving now, looking to get in, fingers pointing, looking, guys explaining stuff in high vis, you know, the drills. It's alright because I've been here for the last 3 hours walking around it. There's a coach full of people turning up, and I got the place just at the perfect time to myself. I think it opens at 10. I did look at the sign. Aye, there you go. We coach in from Edinburgh, Glasgow maybe, because this will be a prime tourist spot to come and visit. And I can just come here 25 minutes first thing in the morning. Back out on the high street once more. The gorillas have done a great job here at the War Memorial. Really colourful, really nice, really neat, just beautiful tribute. Essentially, when you get the occasional shot of the Pentlands, you are reminded of where you are, and it's absolutely stunning. And you can't always see them because the building's in the way, and in the Glen you're down low, but it's incredible. It's such a dramatic contrast from being down in the Glen there. So it's back where I walked along this morning when it was still dark, freezing cold. Look what I found. The heart of any town or village. Let's go and check out their green. I bet they've got a beautiful green here. They're surrounded by the trees, the hills, the Glen. New members, welcome. Look at that lovely stuff. Some ducks on the fence. It really is nice. It's really bright now. If you're local to this area, get yourself signed up to play some bowls. I need to get myself signed up to play some bowls. Also known as the Roslin New Houses. We just not get run over at the entrance. It's surrounded by woods though. I think they've dug into the woods to build houses. So I wonder if that's it. Are they done? Or will they chip into more of the woods in the coming years? Here we go. From the old chapel and castle to the new houses to the everlasting nature, all in one bundle here in Roslin. So I'm just doing a little bit of final reading here. It says legend had it that the village was founded in 203 AD by Asteris, a Pict. So the Picts were here carving Voldemort's face into the rocks. Interesting. In 1303 Roslin was the site of a battle of the First War of Scottish Independence. And we're right at the heart of the Central Belt, right through Scotland, on the border with Fife, where the Romans battled. Everyone's bowed here. And in 1446 Roslin Chapel was constructed, and then it became an important seat of the St Clair family and granted a borough status in 1456 by James II. Roslin Inn dates from 1660 and was visited by Dr. Johnson, classic Dr. Johnson move, and James Boswell during their tour of Scotland, 1773, dining and drinking tea at the inn. And later in the 18th century, Rabbie Burns breakfast at the inn with Alexander Naismith. So I wonder what he had for breakfast. There we go. So I think now, 19th century onwards, the attractions of the Glen Castle and Chapel developed Roslin as a popular tourist destination. And that is as brief an overview as you're ever going to hear on Roslin. But you get the idea. Most of it's in me walking around and trying to gauge the place as it is today. Get back to the Burtmobile. There she is. What a morning I have had in Roslin. I recommend coming. And if you want to check out the chapel, you should probably check it out. Check out the castle, check out the glen, check it all out. It's amazing, magnificent. It's a mystical, it's a magical little place, this. It's kind of, I don't know how to sum it up other than it's kind of perfectly laid out for you to come and explore. And it's beautiful, you've got to do it. So, aye, that's me, I'm done. I'm going home for a nap, shower, nap, bit of breakfast. Anyway, you don't care. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Well, it was a lovely to see you. It's the end of the show. Bring on tomorrow. Where shall we go? Where shall we go? Say goodnight to the ginger man. One last ice cream for the bearded band. Pistachio